Hey there, this is Andrew with the Patriot Post here with Alex from Robinson Armament Company. We're here to talk about one of the most important things to the Second Amendment, and that is the First Amendment. And Alex has been telling me about some issues with the various online platforms, social media, censorship, and very serious problems we're having, especially when it comes to the Second Amendment and being able to advertise. And I would love to hear what you have to say about your experience, Alex.
Yeah, it's been not very good, and most people in the firearms industry understand this, but you're censored just about every way and that they can. It seems like every platform has the same terms of service,
right,
which is something like you cannot promote the sale or use of firearms. Now that just seems to me to be very discriminatory. I mean, if you were discriminating against some other group, they'd throw a big fit and it would end quickly, but because we're firearms people, they feel they can do it. Second Amendment, we should be a protected community rather than one that's scorned by all these big tech companies. Firearms are not dangerous weapons. People are dangerous weapons. It's the way something's used that's dangerous. A firearm is a lifeless thing.
Absolutely.
I guess it could be made so it's dangerous, it goes off accidentally. That's another thing. We're talking about bad people. There's bad people, not bad firearms, really.
Right.
And it's got to change. I mean, I've tried to advertise with Meta, with X even. X says that they'll allow anything to be posted that's not illegal, but they won't let you use their advertising tools.
Yeah.
But they're not the worst. Meta with the Facebook and Instagram and Microsoft. I tried to advertise on Microsoft. They won't let me do it. They say I can get someone to write an article, but I can't advertise.
Yeah.
So it's very discouraging.
Absolutely.
I'm a cheapskate. I understand. Most people know that. I don't want to spend a lot on advertising. I want to use the modern, most effective advertising tools I can, and I don't feel I can in this industry. And it's ridiculous. It really is.
Absolutely. And we've had similar problems at the Patriot Post over the years. We were banned from advertising for over 2 years for saying truthful things on the internet, discriminated against for our articles, for our content, talking about the most important issues facing America today. And it's just, social media is the public square, and especially Meta, they're the largest. We really need Congress to be paying better attention to this. Now, we've seen some improvement with, frankly, just the power of the Trump administration. And, for example, Mark Zuckerberg kind of taking a step back and being like, I'm going to fall in line. I recognize that you're the powerful one. He's really the kind of guy who just wants to be on the winning team for himself.
Right. I think if there was a different political climate, he'd go right back to where he was.
Yeah.
And our congressmen and senators need to take this seriously. Mm-hmm. They kind of say, well, we don't want to restrict, private businesses or public businesses that are, as long as that are non-governmental. We don't want to make regulations. We don't need to, but I think they do, or something needs to change. And there's this FCC thing that we both talked about.
Right.
Where there's an FCC comment period going on. Mm-hmm. Everyone should get on there and comment how big tech has censored them. Affirm, which is a credit company, they were financing some of our customers. They did it for a month and said, oh, you're in the gun industry, you're gone. GoDaddy, we had our site on GoDaddy, Arizona company, right? Should be some patriots. Well, they broke our site and refused to fix it and said, oh, we're not going to do it because you're a firearms company. So they forced us off their platform. This is just typical. I've experienced this for years in this business. I've been doing it since 1996 or so. I'm sick of being a second-class citizen, having banks or credit companies or insurance. We're not the evil ones in society. We're the good ones.
Yes, agreed. And we are protected by the Second Amendment, which is the backup of the First Amendment.
Exactly.
The Second Amendment is there to defend the freedom of speech.
Yeah, and the Second Amendment, I mean, we've had assault weapon bans. I was in law school in 1988. I predicted the 1994 assault weapons ban. I knew it. I could just see it was coming. It's like every evil influence wants guns out of our hands. And I say evil influences because really, once guns are out of our hands, we're defenseless, and we can't. That it doesn't matter what if you can't, then you can't defend yourself, and you can't say what you want to say at all. A good example of gun control that's gone really wrong is that in Israel, on this October 7th attack they had.
Yes.
The people along the border there could not own assault rifles and they should have each had an assault rifle, machine gun, whatever, and 2,000 rounds of ammunition each.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. In Israel, even though you've been in the military, you can't just go and get a rifle like we can own here.
Yes.
And that whole situation would have turned out a lot differently had things been different. Anyway, that's just another poke at the bear.
Well, we had armed women of Israel come by our booth earlier today here at the NRA National Annual Meeting, and they had the same thing to say. They're trying to advocate for a Second Amendment in Israel. And you're absolutely right. It would have been a totally different situation had the people had arms. And the people are the defense against tyranny.
They are. It's not government. Government serves us. We shouldn't be serving government.
Yes, agreed.
That's where the founding fathers wanted it. And you go to law school and you don't learn this stuff. I had to learn this after law school. You know, they don't teach the history. You don't go into the deep lives of the founding fathers and see what they really believe. You do that and you'll find it's very different than the way people say things should be today.
Yep. Alex, thank you so much for telling us about the situation that you've been dealing with, that we've been dealing with in the public spaces of the internet and social media. And let's get the word out. This is an important issue that we need everybody to know about and to continue to fight for our rights.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alex.
Appreciate it.
All right.